Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bitcoin Trade here. This particular episode, I've got my beautiful audio stereogram. If you can parallel view this, it will, some 3D images will pop out. And so, hope you enjoy this. I'm going to do a little bit something different today. I'm going to go over the audio stereogram first, and then I'll do my prediction and then some price prediction and so forth. Maybe a rant here and there. Anyways, let me go over the coin market cap, and so that you can see Monero was next. Alright, so here's the coin market cap, and you can see it's Bitcoin. I did alright, so Bitcoin's here, Ethereum, that hasn't changed. I don't even know why Ripple's even here, but here's Litecoin. I did one on Litecoin yesterday, and Monero is in the 5th spot, and recently there's been a change. Looks like Dash has moved up from the 7th spot here, and they've been doing really well. Look at that. Look at the price just go up. So don't know what they're doing, but maybe they wanted to be next on the on my artwork here. So if that's the case, if they can maintain this spot, they'll be next. Or even if they take over, if they move up above Monero and in the 5th or 4th, I mean, they're automatically next by then. So anyways, there's a little difference there. That's the first time in a long while. So something happening with Dash, and I think this ties with this episode, the Anano coins, or anonymous coins. I call them Anano coins. So you're seeing Monero, Dash, Zcash, and there's other Anano coins out there, and I'll talk about them in a little bit. But before I do that, let me go over to some comments here. And okay, JT made a comment on my my Litecoin Bitcoin prediction. Litecoin, pull out here. Okay, and he made a little comment. He says there will be a total of 84 million Litecoins, 4 times the number of total Bitcoins. So I said, hey, thanks for the comment. And again, feel free to comment on any of these other, just on any video, you're free to comment. And maybe I'll reply, maybe I won't. But if you're spamming, YouTube does a very good job of filtering the spam. So if you're able to make it on, then, I'm not going to change anything. So feel free to comment. Anyways, let me go back to the artwork, and let me see what I can do here. So if you're able to parallel view this, oh, hold on, I got something going on. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I had a little interruption there, but alright, so let's see if you can parallel view this or not. Doesn't really matter, but it is more fun to see it in 3D, I'll tell you that much. Alright, so this is about Monero, and you'll see the logo up here on top. That is, well, the name and their logo. So, but this is coming out in front of you, and so if you can see that or not. Anyways, so this is, I believe his name is Ricardo Spanigi. I don't know how to pronounce it. I did have a chance to see him on, hear him talk on Bitcoin Uncensored. Also, I did hear him talk recently on Whale Pool or something like that. Anyways, if you look up his name and Whale Pool, you could probably YouTube it. or look up any of Bitcoin Uncensored videos about Monero. He's probably there. YouTube Monero, and you'll probably find something. So when I went to go look for some pictures, I mean, he got his picture on the internet. Not a lot, but from what I could tell, he has gained some weight, seems like, which is not a bad or good thing. But you know, when you see a developer who's gained some weight, that should tell you right away that he's been programming, he's been developing, because you got to sit in front of that computer all day long, eating your Snickers and drinking your Coke, you know. Anyways, so let me get to the backstory of Monero from what I could do on my research. So again, feel free to comment or add to it, or if I'm wrong about something. This is also an experiment I'm doing on Mandela effect. By the way, he's also from, Ricardo is also from, I believe he's South Africa, I believe. Apparently that's, you know, and Mandela Nelson is from South Africa. So it's also an experiment on the Mandela effect. So I'm going to try to remember from my memory about Monero and try to document in that, and let me know if anything's different, or if you want to add to something, please comment. You know, I'm not restricting any comments here. So from what I found out, Monero was basically developed from an unknown developer who created Bytecoin. And apparently the original creator was doing all sorts of things that the Monero community, users and miners and other developers, didn't like, didn't want to do. So they basically hijacked Monero from this unknown creator. And that's how Monero came into be. And during that process, I guess this gentleman here and a team of 6 other people, so 7 total including himself, are developing Monero. And I guess they had to start from scratch. Apparently it is not a fork of Bitcoin. It is something that they started. I don't know, I'm not a programmer or coder or anything. I just have to take their word. But that's kind of how it got started. So you could almost say this coin is a pirated coin in a lot of ways. And the way it's, you know, humble beginnings, it seems very fit to be a coin for the dark markets. You got an unknown creator who originally tried to scam, apparently, who was creating scam coins, created Monero, only to get Monero hijacked and forked away from by the community. Now the community really runs everything, and Richard Spangini, or Ricardo Spangini, I don't know how to say his name, sorry about that, but he is I guess the lead developer. And you know, when typically you're the lead developer or you're titled developer of this coin, you also automatically become the face of the coin, the representative of the coin, the face of the community in some sense. So there you go. So that's what I know about Monero. I'm not sure if there is a hard cap. If somebody knows, please write down in the comments. Let me see how many there are right now. I'm going to go to coin market cap, so forgive me if I move the camera a little bit. Alright, so coin market cap says Monero has 13 million coins. So I don't know what their cap is. That's the current price. So, okay. And so it's interesting to hear him talk. He seems to be really down to earth. I think developing Monero is more of has become a full-time hobby. Apparently he does well for himself. He does make money for himself in another endeavor. But you know, a lot of people do look to this gentleman for updates about Monero and how the coding or development of Monero is doing. So, and also, by the way, he also goes by the internet moniker of Fluffy Pony. So that's the reason why I got the Fluffy Ponies here. Let me see if I can zoom in there. You can kind of see it. Well, Fluffy Pony. And it's a rainbow Fluffy Pony. That seems to be like really popular among, I don't know, internet forums, you know, the whole rainbow fluffy whatever, and cat flying with rainbows shooting out of their asses, and all this other, I don't know, weird things. So I put in a rainbow fluffy pony. So I don't know, maybe somebody else's name Fluffy Pony, they'll take offense to this, but anyways, his moniker, online moniker, is Fluffy Pony, so that's why I put in a Fluffy Pony, and I made it into a rainbow because that seems to be the other thing. And then I got here waves coming here, and the coin symbol for Monero is basically that, but I got this rolling around onto the waves here, and just for fun, of course. And then right here is Fluffy Pony himself, and he's basically riding this wave. I mean, he is really riding the Monero wave. I would say before Monero really picked up, I mean, he was just a very humble developer of an altcoin, interested in privacy, is how he would say it, privacy. And now that the use case for Monero regarding, you know, private transactions, anonymous transactions, really taken off, and it does help to have the dark market adopt Monero or accept Monero. It'd be interesting to see how much in relation to other coins like Bitcoin or Dash is being used on the dark markets. I do have to admit, dark markets drive the price of your cryptocurrency because people are going to use it. They're going to use it because the other methods of payment are not an option. So that's what kind of gives it its value. Not all of its value, but it gives some value. The only issue or problem I have is that Monero, if it continues on this path where it's kind of an exclusive use case for dark markets, I don't see it being, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a mainstream coin, but at the same time I don't see it price-wise really going up any. It's hard to see it really going as high as probably the price of Bitcoin, in my opinion. It doesn't mean it's not going to go high. So that's the only thing, because if you're, you know, there's rumors that Coinbase may use it, but if that's true, then the anonymity of Monero becomes pointless at some point, you know, because if Monero grows in great popularity with the dark markets, well, all of a sudden now you have, you know, if you go onto Coinbase or any other exchange, now you're going to be known for being a Monero user, and you know the path of least resistance tells me that law enforcement will want a name, know who you are, and then will come by, and then maybe you didn't do anything, right? But they want to know, well, who'd you sold the Monero to? And if you say, I don't know, you know, it's like, well, what do you mean you don't know? How did you get the money? You know, how did you get the cash to sell your Monero? And you're going to have to give up those details. So it's not completely anonymous. Anything that has to be done in the physical world that leaves a trail will be followed. So I don't know how that's going to be handled or how available it's going to be, but right now it is a great use for anonymous users of dark markets. And then I got him riding this wave, and if you notice, he's not on a surfboard, because the guy can literally walk on water right now. I mean, that's kind of, for me, I know he's a very humble person and everything. Seems to be very humble, seems to be very upfront. He tells you not to buy Monero unless you're going to use Monero. So unless you're the only reason why you would use Monero is because you're interested in being anonymous on the dark net markets. But I don't have any Monero. I don't plan on getting any Monero, but it could be of use for other reasons too. Let's say you're in a country that is considering banning cryptocurrencies, or trying to heavily restrict cryptocurrencies, or just persecuting cryptocurrency users. In that sense, now this is outside of the dark markets. Example, recently the IRS wants a list of Bitcoin users from Coinbase. If that goes through, and then you'll probably see other exchanges being requested for their information. The Chinese are already gathering information. It's not too far-fetched that that this information would be shared to create a database of users, and that could lead to a lot of stuff. Genocide, Holocaust, concentration camps. I mean, just a lot of things. Wherever you have a database of users, I mean, this is this is what I'm going. This is the things that just go through my mind. A database of users. Why would you want a database of users, especially of people? Well, to round them up, of course. If it really was about crime, if it really was about public safety, I'll tell you right now, in my honest opinion, Bitcoin would have never been invented. There would be no need for Bitcoin whatsoever, or any cryptocurrency, or any encrypted information would never be needed. But it's not about crime, in my opinion, in my honest opinion. It's not about crime. It's not about public safety. I really feel that there is a force out there that is trying to control the world. And that control is too much for a group or even a person. It is too much, because absolute power corrupts absolutely. Is that right? Did I say that right? Or absolute power absolutely corrupts? I'm not sure. That's just my opinion. I mean, take it for what it's worth, but go back through history and time, you'll see the end results. Anyways, the reason I got him here on the wave, and he's barefooted, because literally right now he can literally walk on water. He's literally riding that wave with his bare feet. And I know he jokes around a lot about having Lamborghinis and all the Moneros that he pre-mined. But I'm sure one day, if the price goes up to a few $1,000s, which I can see Monero going up to a few $1,000s. It's really popular among darknet users, really popular among cryptocurrency users, and you could almost say it's an original. It's got its roots somewhere in Bitcoin. But if you notice, I don't have any Bitcoin on here. It does have its roots in Bitcoin, but really it seems to be a coin that on its own seems to have its own merits, from what I could tell, because it's been the code has apparently been done from scratch, unique ideas, and matter of fact, it's so a lot of new ideas have a lot of new ideas have come from this, to the point where it could, Bitcoin could incorporate some of these ideas. So anyways, my prediction for Monero is that it will do well. It will do well. It will do well. Both, probably not in the old world. Definitely, it won't do well in the old world. Trying to cash out in Monero will probably be difficult, in my opinion. I don't think just the fact that it's marketed as a dark net payment coin will prevent it from having some actual practical use in the real world. But it will be used in the real world because people who want to escape oppressive governments, escape, the taxing authorities, escape, you know, just escape privacy invasion. That's where it's going to come in the most use. So, anyways, that's it for this. Let me go on to the chart now. Let's see where the price of Bitcoin is here. All right, so here's my. All right, so here's a chart. I'm on Bitstamp. Has Bitstamp. Let me go down to 1 hour and let's see how it looks. It looks great. It took a dip down after the rumor, right here in particular, took a dip down after the rumor of Chinese regulators finding irregularity in the trades and the margins and margin trading. So far, it seems like margin trading has been halted, but none of the exchanges are confirming or denying whether it's illegal or not. The rumor is, or the reports coming out is that it was illegal. That's why it's been halted. And Friday, or maybe over this weekend, we'll hear some more coming from official news coming out. And I believe this Friday is Donald Trump's inauguration. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube videos about rumors of assassinations and everything, and I thought this is just utter nonsense and silliness, especially on the day of inauguration. That, odds on an assassination tip on the day of inauguration, I don't think that's going to happen. But I asked my wife, I told her, man, I am seeing a lot of YouTube videos and rumors about assassination attempts on Donald Trump on inauguration, and I asked her, what do you think? You think that's true? And she said, yeah, I think that might happen. I mean, the the tension of the election results are still boiling over to the point where I think the general populace really believe that there will be an assassination attempt on Donald Trump on inauguration day. I personally don't think so. I would think after like a couple months, maybe a year, to see what he does. If he plays ball, no problem. He'll stay alive. But if he starts doing all sorts of weird things, that part of the state is, they're already scheming. They're probably, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a trip to Dallas where he has to drive around an open motorcade and, a bunch of grassy knolls all over the place. Wouldn't surprise if if there's a planned trip for him to be in Dallas, So anyways, let me go back to the price here. So it looks like it's moving up, but it's hard to say. I mean, for me, the price has to, and it has the two averages have crossed over. It has rebounded up to a level price of where it kind of was. But for me, it really has to go up to at least past 940. I would even say all the way up to 960. 960 is really where it has to go if this is going to be the fifth leg going up. On a 1 hour, you see the wave. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, and possible 5 going up this way. Now we got the first group of waves going up. Okay, and if you want to know waves, Fibonacci weight, or Fibonacci trend lines. Trend lines all correlate well. Even averages, the shorter term and the longer term averages, they all tend to really correlate with each other. And when they hit a certain, when they're all working and the interpretation is that the price is going to go up, I mean, that is a very, very, very strong signal that the price will go up. So if you look at all these combinations, you know, it does instill confidence into your trade. So that's kind of why I'm mentioning that. Let me go back to the 12-hour. But as you go further in time, there is a question, because short term, a lot of noise. You can read it, but a lot of noise. But you go to a longer term period on the 12-hour. I'm on 12-hour Bitstamp. The signals are a little mixed. You know, they're not quite yet. So what I see here is that it does look like it crossed over. If it continues on to stay above that, I think that's a bullish signal. That's a bullish signal. But you're still at risk, okay? And the risk is, if this is a 1 move, 1, this is the 2. If that's the 2, then there's going to be 3, a lower leg. If it's not 1, 2, then this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 4th leg can go back up to halfway, up even all the way up to what I say, 960. The retracement can go back halfway and then still have a downturn to it. So you're still at risk. Let's go back to the daily, take a look, and it shows up even more. The 12 and the daily tend to show up really close to each other, and that may be the case. But I did notice on the daily that the shorter term average is not quite crossed over, but the actual candlestick, if you can see here, I'll try to zoom in a lot, bounced off on the longer term as a support. You see that right here. So that is another bullish signal. And so after another day, if the averages can cross over towards the upside, another bullish signal. But again, you're still at risk. You're still at risk. But considering all the signs and signals, it's a risk worth it's worth taking that risk. And then on the 3-day, that candlestick was all the way down to here on the 3-day, like down to here. That candlestick was all the way down to here. It was below the shorter term average, but now it's almost reversed itself completely. This morning when I saw it, it looked like it made a little hammer. Basically, it was more the red body of it was touching the shorter term average here, and it looked like a red hammer, because the red communist Chinese government would like to hammer the price down. But we'll see how it goes. It looked like a red hammer, but it didn't finish. So you always got to remember, you gotta see it through and wait a couple candlesticks to get a confirmation. But it looked like a red hammer. If it's not going to be a red hammer, usually a sign that it was going to be coming down. So there's still a mixed review, but overall it's still bullish, still very bullish. But we'll see how this candle finishes. I think it's going to be tomorrow, Friday, will be the end of the 3-day candlestick. So we'll see how that turns out. If it does turn red and it does make a red hammer, that might be an early indication of the price going back down, because this is 1 on a 3-day, 2, so 1, 2, 3. So just in case, have some cash on the exchange, put a market order at 700, put another one at 600, just in case. And that's on the 3-day. And then on a 1 week, let's have a look at the 1 week. 1 week is looking good, but the 1 week tends to lag. You know, you won't see the signal until 2-3 weeks later. You know, by then the price may have moved up $600-700, so it's kind of hard. But overall, the trend going up is still intact, as you can see right here. Matter of fact, if you look at the shorter term average, you can see that it's starting to point up again. But again, do not, you know, we still have a whole week left. It looks good. Overall, my sentiment is that the price will go up. I'm actually thinking it's going to be about 960, 950, maybe even 970, somewhere right around here at this particular price. Is what I think. If it can't make it, then look for prices to go down. So my opinion, it's got to go up to 960, 950, 960, somewhere around there. Because that's on the shorter term. That is the fifth leg on the hourly here. That will be the fifth leg going up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The fifth leg going up there. That's just my opinion. Let's take it for what it's worth. And then also let's take a look at the different prices on the exchanges. You'll see the Chinese exchange matches with Bitstamp and Bitfinex, and there is a $20 difference between BitC and all the other exchanges, which is typically normal when you see the price going up or about to go up, break out. But so another, I would say, bullish sign. Again, short term, you know, this isn't long term. This is very short term, within a couple hours, within the hour, or it's going on right now. And if you take a look at what's been happening, that's the case. That's the case. That is what's happening right now. It's crossed over and it's trending upwards, and this last candlestick really pushed up higher. So short term, that's what you look. If you see the prices up there, you'll see that they're very similar, almost the same. Be careful when they're all the same prices. That usually means that it's about to turn the other way, whichever the other way is. And when they're all the same prices, and especially watch BitC. If you see BitC going higher in price than any one of these exchanges, if you see BitC higher than any one of these exchanges, that's a sell signal right off the bat. I would say 8 out of 10 times that's what happens. I have seen it where BitC price right here was higher, but the price was going up. That's usually highly unusual, and that's usually like in a mass hysteria, like the halvening, the time before the halvening, I saw BitC be higher than all the other exchanges at certain points in time, yet the price continued to go up. And then so there is certain cases, but most of the time, BitC, when it's higher, that's a sell signal most of the time. I would say 8 out of 9 times. So hopefully this helps you, and let me end it off on this. And again, I'm gonna, of course, I'll put a picture before and after. And if you don't know how to look at an audio stereogram, just Google it, and you know, you'll be able to see things in this image in 3D. So anyways, this concludes this episode. So feel free to like, dislike, leave a comment, or even do a video response. Until next time, stay tuned. Bye.